Oh yeah, little check down, little Sunday vibes, little semifinal vibes, little week 15 DFS vibes. Ooh, it's been a minute since we heard the theme bang. I'm gonna vibe on this for a little bit. Here comes the break, buckle up, it gets gritty. Before gritty was a thing, it's 2018. Here we go. Get yourself amped up a little bit. It's going to be a big day for fantasy. It's a big day for football. Playoff races heating up. We got the Giants still alive. The Cleveland Browns are alive. We got the Bills doing Bills things. We got the Jets pushing the Texans. Sam Darnold's going to getting some steam, getting his legs under him finally. That dude's only 21. You better watch out. That dude's only 21 years old. Okay? Sam Darnold's got time. Sam Darnold's got time. Welcome. We're going to do a little check down. Hang out with me for the next hour. I'll take your fantasy questions wherever you got them. Hit me with them on Boom, on anything else. I'm going to work through my own dilemmas out loud and then look at some lines, hang for the next hour and just figure things out because it's a tight week 15 slate. This is the week that other DFS sites are doing live finals, so there's a lot of action and there's a lot of uncertainty with a lot of the matchups. I just got word that Chris Ivory's out and T.Y. Hilton is active. Allen Robinson is active, so that's going to make me re-examine my fantasy lineups, and I think I'm going to start Marcus Murphy in a playoff game, honestly. It's the most disgusting thing I think I've ever done. But Hilton's up, and that means I got a shot. Ugh, and Josh Adams is sitting there too. I don't know, man. I just did it. Ivory is out, right? Chris Ivory officially inactive. Marcus Murphy listed as starting RB. Official. This is official Field Yates action. T.Y. Hilton in. Sean McCoy out. Chris Ivory out. Flacco in. Robinson in. Xavier Howard out. Ugh, love the Vikings. Ito Smith in. Stafford in. Obvi. Chris Thompson in. Josh Doxson in. Huge. Ty Montgomery out. Ty Montgomery out. That's an interesting Kenneth Dixon scenario. Doesn't make for the worst Kenneth Dixon play this week. They're taking on a bad run defense in the Bucs, which hasn't been the worst the past 2 weeks, but has been really prolifically bad. Ravens are run first team. And then you got Gus Edwards and now no Ty Montgomery. You're pretty much splitting work down the middle, Gus Edwards and Kenneth Dixon. And Gus Edwards is an indicator, meaning that when he's on the field, the defense is pretty overwhelmingly sure that it's going to be a run. So having Dixon out, oh my God, that's better. Having Dixon on the field makes things a lot more complicated for defenses to figure out when facing the Ravens. So I could see 12 to 15 touches for Dixon. That's really all I want. Him and a guy like Marcus Murphy. I just want a couple touches. Just get me in the game, bruh. Really what I want for Marcus Murphy is the screen game. I don't care that I'm starting him non-PPR. I need him to get put in an area where he's got big play potential because jamming him up the middle is just no good for me. I want to get a guy in space. That's important to me. But that Bills-Lions game is going to be a torture chamber either way. Bless your heart if you're going to watch that today. There's so many other games to watch, and you're going to go ahead and pound away on Bills, Lions. We got work to do with this schedule as far as fantasy lineups are concerned and odds as we just hang out for an hour and figure this out, you know? Let me get my full set of lines here. Interesting. Optimizing and sports booking are the two things that I need to keep me going. FanDuel Sportsbook really wants me to deposit. They had no referral bonus when I tried to give a offender a referral. He went in somewhere else, and then 2 weeks later, he's like, I'm going to referral again. All right. Hopefully you guys can see this. Let's see. Is it bad? Whatever. I'm trying to check it on the replay. Hey-oh. Why does this do this? Log in to start placing bets. It's so obtrusive. One more. Nope. Oh, we got one. Okay. One more. There it is. That should be perfect, right? Nope. Covers it up completely. Hold on. Does it? No, it's good. Wow. Way far behind. Good times. Good times. Rick, what are you doing? Okay, Cardinals, Falcons, 10 points and a 43-point over. I like the Falcons, but not enough that I'm going to invest in them. The Cardinals have been keeping things relatively close and holding quarterbacks to relatively modest performances this year. So got no problems there. Why is that going off? Next game, Cowboys, Colts. This over is climbing, 46.5. With T.Y. Hilton healthy, it's not healthy, but active. It pushes me more towards Andrew Luck and maybe a Colts stack because they're going to have to throw to beat this defense. And I think that their offensive line can neutralize Dallas's pass rush. I hope there's a lot of points in this game. Zeke should have a pretty nice game. Fournette kind of set the tone against this Colts D in that shutout win a couple of weeks ago. So I still think that the Colts can win this game. -3 makes me nervous. It'll be a very close game, but the over for me is a nice little bet. Maybe tease the over feels a lot better. I really like the Bills here. Matt Stafford's dealing with a back injury, and the Bills are doing really well. My concern is that the Lions have neutralized rushing quarterbacks, but as the trade-off with rushing quarterbacks, they've given up massive performances. Like, they held Cam Newton to like 1 rush for 2 yards, but he torched them through the air. And likewise with Tannehill and one rushing quarterback that I can't think of. But auto lock never. That's what I'm looking for. But you never know what the Bills will do, and they're so turnover prone that makes them a hard bet. But at 2 points, 2.5 points, that's not so bad. And then you're looking at a total under 40, so you should be hitting the over. Under 40 points is a joke in the NFL. It's the National Football League. Everybody can score 40 points. I'd like to see what the end result is on all those totals. Packers, Bears. I like the Bears a lot in this, but you don't want to give Aaron Rodgers too many points. Maybe Bears money line in a parlay feels pretty good. Dolphins, Vikings. This is a matchup I really like. The Vikings have new offensive coordinators, so they'll be a little bit unique with the play calling. The Dolphins can't rush the passer and are missing their best cover guy. Remember, the Patriots had them beat by 6 points before the biggest, or 7 points, 5 points. Sorry, they didn't need the extra point. Had them beat by 5 points before one of the biggest fluke plays in the history of football. Freaking Gronk playing strong safety. So the Vikings should be able to clear this number, both with their defense and with Adam Thielen having a good game. I actually like Thielen. I should text my contact. Just heard Ivory out too. Yeet. All right, I'm starting Marcus Murphy, man. It's actually pretty crazy. Where's my... Let's do some optimizing. Oh no, let's keep going with these games. 45 is a nice total, but I think the Vikings will get there before the Dolphins do. They should be able to hold on to. What's going on, Mike? What's going on, bro? Just hanging out. We're looking at these games. I got big fantasy matchups. I think I'm starting Bills running back Marcus Murphy today. So just trying to do a little stream, calm myself down, talk to the people, and not think about my own lineup. If I could talk about your fantasy team for a little bit, that would be awesome, because I don't want to think about mine for a little bit. I want to talk about these spreads. I think the Raiders are a much better team than the Bengals, as bad as the Raiders are. I think Joe Mixon could have a good game. Raiders interior line versus Bills, Geno Atkins. Oh, geez. This Raiders interior O-line. Left guard. Signed 19 days ago. center, Pro Bowler. Right guard, signed 13 days ago, 0 snaps last year. Backup guard, Denver Kirkland. And center, Cameron Hunt. Signed this week, 0 snaps in 2018. And they're going against them. That's good timing for that tweet. Have Gus Edwards and McCoy, or do I just throw in the towel? McCoy's hurt. McCoy's out. With Connor out, who do I go with, man? My team's struggling. Tons of injuries. I totally agree. Gus Edwards doesn't have the worst matchup, but McCoy's hurt. I just put his third stringer, Marcus Murphy, in as my starter in a really bad one. Damn, son. Don't throw in the towel. No, don't throw in the towel. Gus Edwards throwing the towel. No, man. We don't like to hear that. Throw in the towel. That's so sad. So I do like the Bengals here. I do like Mixon. Have a good day. We'll look at Mixon prop in a little bit. Bucks Ravens. This is kind of a stay away because I think the Bucks have been playing pretty well lately, and 8.5 is just too many points to lay for a team that doesn't have big play passing ability the way the Ravens do. They can't generate instant offense the way the Bucks can, and at 8.5 points, if you're in a slugfest, also have AJ Green and Sanders out. That sounds like a rough fantasy season, Mike. That's really tough. It sucks. I'm here complaining about Melvin Gordon, but you're in a really rough spot. AJ Green, Sanders, no McCoy. Yizikes. Titans Giants is really interesting. I think Derrick Henry could have another strong game, not like he did last week, but the real matchup is going to be Saquon against the Titans defense because the Giants are still in the playoff race, and they're going to need to generate offense against this Titans defense that at times looks really good. The biggest challenge, more so than Saquon, is going to be the Titans blitz. The Titans blitz at a top 10 rate against Eli Manning and that Giants offensive line. If he can get the ball out quick to Shepard, Ingram, no Beckham in this one, it's going to make things really tough. Beckham would have been a huge difference maker. I could see the Giants winning this game. The Titans are much worse on the road. However, overall, the Titans have more talent, and if they can get Corey Davis involved and get Derrick Henry running downhill, they're a very good team. You get Derrick Henry running downhill, your play action becomes much more effective, and Corey Davis can get loose. Jags Redskins, another over under 40. Hit this over, baby. We hit this over. 40 points are too easy to come by in the NFL. There's 60 minutes. 20 points from each team, easy peasy. Every under 40, we hit that over. I don't hate the Redskins here. The Jaguars are the same, really incapable of big play offense, and you never know what Josh Johnson's going to be capable of. Getting Doxson back, getting Chris Thompson back gives you explosive efforts. That's a messy game. I'd much rather just have the over, but sprinkling on Redskins money line might not be so bad either because everybody's writing them off, and that's exactly when you back a team that's an underdog, when people have written them off completely. It's the NFL. This is a Seahawks smash for me. Love the Seahawks. Only giving 3.5 points to the Niners. Better rushing attack. Their pass rush is really stepping up. They're hot right now. I think the Seahawks, are one of the hottest teams in football. What do you think of Cowboys' money line against the Colts? I think it's a tight bet. I think a lot of the public wants to steam the Cowboys because they're one of the hottest teams in the NFL. But the Colts are really good. They're really good at home. They have a great offensive line, and their defense is doing enough. And the Cowboys aren't going to get multiple bombs to Amari Cooper every game. They got bailed out a little bit against the Eagles, who have the worst secondary in football. They're playing like 15th cornerback right now. So it's easy to go off the last thing we saw, which is the Cowboys taking apart this decimated Eagles secondary. But if you take away those Amari Cooper bombs, that's a much closer game than it should have been because the Cowboys are the much better team than the Eagles. So it does make me a little nervous. Dak Prescott has been error prone, and I like the over much more than I like Cowboys money line. I'll say that. That feels good to say. Pats Steelers, another strong overplay, even though it's a huge number. That's a fun number to tease down. And I like the Steelers. Home underdogs, regardless. They got the best wide receiving core in football. And Ben Roethlisberger's a gamer. And the way the Steelers blitz should make Tom Brady very uncomfortable. As long as they're not putting a linebacker on Julian Edelman, they should be very much fine. And then the Rams, 2 touchdowns is just so many points. But they are the better team. money line parlay in with other stuff, maybe a little Rams, Seahawks, Bengals, Rams, Seahawks, Vikings, Bears, Vikings, Seahawks isn't too bad at all. I'm gonna pop that in right now if that's okay. Hey, we're doing stuff. Let's not look at the screen. You know, don't look at me. Don't look at me. Bears, Seahawks, Vikings parlay. Not mad at all. I get the Vikings minus Trey 75. I get the Bears minus Chinese toothache. And give me the Hawks minus 200. Nick Mullins. Get out of here, Nick Mullins. There you go. Plus 150. Every time. Gabagool. So, yeah, the Cowboys, a little bit of trouble. But that's okay. Because I got Andrew Luck in every league. And I'm also biased because my fantasy leanings. I got enough fantasy on the line today that it's influencing a lot of my decisions. It's why I was hesitant about the Jets Texans over yesterday, because I just didn't want DeAndre Hopkins to have a good game. Naturally, there was very little I could do to stop that. But 'tis what 'tis. David Johnson, Jalen Samuels, Derrick Henry. Johnson doesn't have an industry. David Johnson doesn't have an injury designation, guys. Jalen Samuels or Derrick Henry. Steelers mediocre run blocking. Dude, what is this ESPN outlook? Gross. Oh my God. Damn, sorry guys. I'm trying to get some fantasy opinions. I also got Seahawks minus 3.5, Cowboys money line, and Raiders plus 3. Why don't we talk about this? I don't hate the Raiders pick. I just worry about their offensive line. They could make the Bengals pass rush look really good today. And then on Monday night, I'm going to take the Saints. That's not enough points. They're totally devaluing the Saints based off last week. I know the Panthers need a game, but their defense is not good enough to keep up with what they need to do. Let's look at some top DFS picks for the day. Obviously, T.Y. Hilton's going to come in at low ownership, but I think he's still a little expensive against that that physical Cowboys secondary. But Eric Ebron's a guy, if you're going to take a part of the Colts, that could be really interesting. It's all about contrarian plays. You know? Hold on. Yeah, Marcus Murphy. Tell the world. He's in there. Joe Mixon, Lock Factory. I think Joe Mixon is one of the top fantasy plays of the day today. Really can't stop that guy. And the Raiders are very slow. And they're going to give Jeff Driscoll time to work play action. It's going to keep the defense honest. They can back him up. You never know. It's a good pick. Seahawks minus 3.5 I think is another strong pick. Joe Mixon top play, but Seahawks minus 3.5. Like, I love you, Mike, but you got to make sure that you're somehow buying that point down. Cousins, Coleman, Mixon, Fournette, Roethlisberger. I hate a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing from lineups. Um, yeah. Always try to buy that half point down. Minus 3.5 is just such a hard thing to get at, hard thing to deal with. But I'm gonna keep working on these lineups here. Send me your best bets. Who do you think is your best pick for the day? Daily fantasy. Who's your locks? In fantasy, your lineup scenarios. I'm just stressing, my guys. It's just sketchy Sunday. That's what we're calling it. For fantasy purposes, it is sketchy Sunday, and that's the way it goes. That Steelers Patriots game feels like the one you want to stack, though, right? We'll see. We'll see. I worry about Raiders +3 too. I just hate banking on the Raiders. Oh man, updates. Looking for some value. Looking for some plays, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know who's your secret sauce for today. Secret sauce for Sketchy Sunday. It's your boy out here. 15 weeks of this. We should have been doing more morning shows this season, but I like the Mighty Dollar Minutes. I love the no BS, no frills content, and have gotten a lot of good feedback on that. So thanks for your continued support watching that stuff. I just want to make y'all better, more profitable players. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Sterling Shepard, how you feel about it? I'm listening. Carry-on's out. I love Giants in a close one, baby. Giants in a close one. Why not us? Why not us? Vikings D just sketches me out, though. Projected for 9 points? Ew. What do we got here? Jags, Seahawks, Ravens with the Bucks, Bears with the Packers, Bills 2,800. So much cheaper. Then you get down to the real cheapies. DFS locks. Let me know. If you bank on these questionable guys like Julio and Hilton, it can work out really well because their ownership will be dead last. It's tough out here, guys. Let's do another half hour. Hang out. Hit me up with your questions, boom or otherwise. Span the fantasy globe as we move into week 15, officially Sketchy Sunday. Seahawks minus 3.5. Cowboys money line. Cowboys Colts is the one that really sketches me out more than the other ones. But you just don't know which Cowboys team is going to show up. I've seen them been really average at times, but there's no doubt that Amari Cooper gives them an extra explosive dimension. Another dimension. Adam Thielen's really the top wide receiver play today. Most expensive. Numero uns. Another dimension. No Holman. Another dimension. And I'm just going to keep saying that for the next half hour. Some of the options are like real, like Marcus Mariota against the Giants. Team never. But Jameis against the Ravens is not so bad. Frank Gore is a never. Jared Cook, not a bad idea. Probably too expensive for most people's blood. Austin Hooper's hurt. Not the biggest hater, though. Dalvin isn't a bad play. If you can think that Dalvin's going to get more work in the new... It's the new OC. The Vikings are a favorite, hence the running game. How do you guys feel about starting any Redskins today? It just drives me nuts, man. Another dimension. Shout out to the Beastie Boys. I'm going to keep this optimizer rolling and just try to put some cool lineups together. Let's look at player props. The player prop I was most interested in today was David Johnson, who's off the injury report from a quad injury. And 75 yards rushing. What about like total? Receiving yards, 31.5. Don't hate it. Rushing, receiving, 98. Yeah, give me that. Over 100 total yards. Yes. Easy. Yes. What else do we see in the Propadopolis? Bears. Thielen yards today. Adam Thielen have 100 and Vikings to win plus 140. Or we could just take 87 minus 108. That's way too low for Adam Thielen. Heyo. Maine playing Duquesne. That rhymes. Can get it live. Mixon yards. Joe Mixon. Yum. 75.5. Easy street. And then Saquon, no. Carson, maybe. Connor, Gurley. Those are the really only ones I like today out of everything. That like jumps off the page as far as matchups. Hold up, babe. Let's look at cheap tight ends real quick. You never know. This is where we are. Let's see if I'm getting robbed by my local on. Yeah, we can't look at this. Sorry, gang. NSFW. Player props. Player props. Thielen, 6.5 catches, 88.5 yards. Getting screwed by my local. Screw by my local. Jared Cook, 4.5 catches, 54.5 yards. It's not going to win you question 3 in the early slate, I tell you that much. But I'll take Joe Mixon yards. And where was the other one? Ba-boop, ba-boop, ba-boop. It was here. We talked about it. David Johnson. We don't have a total yards. We have receiving yards. 30.5. Rushing. Let's look at his game log. Let's just look at his log this year. He hasn't... 8 catches for 12 yards last week is absolutely insane, by the way. I mean, he got 23 touches. He's getting 23, 33, 42. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. That's 26. That's 28. That's 20. And this was the Byron Leftwich game. Since Byron Leftwich has been here, 20, 28, 28, 20. That was a blowout. The first game and the blowout loss don't count. 21 against the Packers, that doesn't count. They didn't run enough plays. And last week, 23 with 8 catches. The touches are totally there. But the receiving yards have not been coming for some reason. In his last 5, teams have done an outstanding job of stopping him, but the catches haven't really been there in 3 of them. I need to watch that Detroit-Arizona game. How can someone catch 8 passes for 12 yards? It defies all logic of modern football. 8 catches for 12 yards. What? He got 10 targets. 10 targets from a quarterback, totaling 12 yards. What's your ADOT? 0? Dealing with a quad injury, but also like off the injury report. You know what I mean? For me, it's Jalen Samuels or Derrick Henry. That's the only big decision left. Otherwise, I'm pretty much locked in, unless I want to take Corey Davis out. Sketch, right? It is sketch. Things are moving and shaking. How about that Cardi B thing? The Cardi B Offset thing was crazy. Offset came on stage and was like, "Take me back." She was like, "Yo, you're at my job. Like, this is my work." DJ Moore against the Saints. I don't know why I got Trey Burton in there. Trey Burton is so big bad. I just know he's going to score if I take him out. 3 for 24 in their first game. Hooper will play after returning to practice. Hooper's such a mess. David Johnson, Jalen Samuels, and Joe Mixon in the flex with Derrick Henry on the bench. I just can't get Derrick Henry in a game where he has 9 carries for 46 yards because he's not going to catch passes. Jalen Samuels can catch passes at least. 15 points. I'll take 15 over 9. I am so worried about my team putting up a stinker, man. It is so easy for my team to dud so hard this week. Leonard Fournette should have a really solid game. It's tough, man. It's tough. We're trying to get out here. We're trying to get some entries. We're trying to make some differences. I just took my Thielen prop and my Mixon prop, so I'm set on that front. Whoa, chill on that, gang. What are you doing? All right. We're quiet here on Boom. Let's head out for the day. Make it a great one. I will be back for the Jackpot Sweat. Obviously. Jackpot Sweat at 3 p.m. We're getting a jackpot winner because we deserve a jackpot winner. Let's hit the music and call it a day. Interesting. Derrick Henry's the killer, man. All right. If you have any questions, get at me on Twitter at the Rick Rosen. Message me in the Boom app. Post it in the water cooler. People are trying to help. And we will see you at 3 p.m. for the Jackpot Sweat. Someone's winning a jackpot today. Someone's getting the call. I will talk to someone on the phone. And I have a family party, so they'll all hear me yelling. Remember last week? I found out it was a guy's first day using the app. That was lucrative. It'll be just like that. So get at me on Twitter or on the app. I'm going to post the late slate everywhere. And we'll see you soon. Be good. Kisses. Bye.